Welcome to what is, without doubt, the hardest part of any van conversion ever, the final 10%. Do stick around because I've been busy. I've got so much to show you, including this Volkswagen Caravel B pillar trims, this customized van shade, these things, and this, a small door, this thing, and even this, a hole in my furniture, and more. We can probably all agree that no matter what van conversion we are doing, it is a wonderful feeling when you're getting these major jobs ticked off of your list, such as the pop top, your bed system, no matter which one you choose, your diesel heater, your power supply, your wheels and tires. All of these major transformations give you that lovely warm feeling inside when you complete them. But it's that final 10% that I want to talk to you about today. Those finishing touches, they are the hardest. They are the most time consuming. I believe I'm halfway through that final 10%. I want to show you what I've done up to now, what's needed to be done to push me over that finish line. Today's not necessarily about major upgrades. It's about it coming together, and I've got so much to show you, including immediately contradicting myself with a major upgrade. The new full LED from Transporter HQ. This video isn't about them. A video on them will follow. I'm just probably preempting. People are going to ask, are they new headlights? Yes, they are. Are they awesome? Yes, they are. Let's take a look inside because I've got so much to show you. So I did in fact start making a full video on these. These are the B pillars from a Caravel. My SD card got corrupted and it all went, and I'm not willing to take these off just to show you me putting them back on. People said they wouldn't fit. There is a very good reason why I decided to attempt to fit these, and I'm going to show you now. As you guys know, I went for the AMF bronze floor, which is 30mm higher. There was no steps that I liked on the market which would allow for that, and I didn't want to deal with propping it up and packing it up and stuff like that. So I chose the Caravel step. Now the Caravel step naturally is 30mm higher because the Caravel floor is higher. That then left me with a little clip here, just like this on that side, which I thought would clip lovely into the Caravel B pillar trim. And it does look so much better. The trim comes round this corner as opposed to just finishing there and then finishing with carpet. The only thing I need to sort out is how it finishes. At the moment, it finishes here. That's part of the original B pillar trim, which I've cut to sculpt in there. Now I need to make something there, whether or not it's a block of MDF and I cover it in the same tweed fabric, I'm not sure, but I hope you agree that looks absolutely awesome. I've got the same problem there, but look how much of a factory finish this is. That's the pillar trim there, not cut, not modified. It's just sat there with the 30mm floor. I think it looks awesome. All the seatbelt works just like it should. I'm just left now with a little task here of infilling that and making that look pretty. But I believe as a finish, that ticks a lot of boxes for me. I thought of this in my mind. Why doesn't someone make this? I found my way to Etsy and someone obviously makes this. Made by a company called VANFORGE. I believe they're about £25. I'll put the link below. This is a diesel heater. Then, I don't know what it is. I'll show you what it is. Look at that. I once upon a time had the Avano back panels on there, but now the Avano's gone, it kind of looked a little bit lost. So I've gone for that factory look. Then I wondered, how do I get my diesel heater vent to come out of there and look pretty? And that is how. This is the one that they sell on the shelf. It's already got the hole drilled. It's already got these holes here for your vent. But because my diesel heater is actually fixed under the seat, the vent on the back of the heater and the hole in this panel did not line up. So I asked him to extend it and I drilled my own hole, and that's what I've ended up with. That looks so good. Check that out. And for 25 quid, I believe. Some people are going to say, oh, it probably only costs £5 to make on a 3D printer. It probably does. But the guy's got to make a living. He's got to send it to you. He's got to put it in a box. He's got to pay a monthly subscription to his Shopify store. Is it worth trying to do that yourself when that exists now for like 25 quid? What an awesome bit of kit. Oh, I'm going to show you something else that the guy makes. Not relevant to today's video, but I did tell him I'd give him a little bit of a shout out because he helped me massively. He designed this extended version solely for me, for my heater. So a massive thank you. Cheers, Dave. This here is a Fiamma awning end cap. So what you would do is basically probably dop a little bit of Sicker on that first, and that goes on there. And if you don't know what that's for, you've probably not got a Fiamma awning. The ends of these in time start to look really bad. They start to kind of, I want to say corrode, bubble, be affected by the weather, discolor. This one, not so much yet because the awning's only about a year old. But the one on my big van, which I've now taken off, and is actually in the van. I promise one day I'll sort this Sprinter van out and show you guys. But yes, this is the one that's on my Sprinter van, you see. See how sorry for itself that's looking. This is probably about 4 years old. It's starting to look pitted and a little bit horrible. So that cap would cover that quite nicely. Oh, I don't even know if you're supposed to sicker these on. And if it falls on the floor from about 6 foot, it will survive. Let me take you inside because I've got a few bits of kit to show you, in fact. So, along with my little diesel heater panel, is it starting to make sense now how cool that looks? I also went for the BUSBOXX, I call that the bum bag, because that's kind of how it's shaped. But this clips over these factory trims, which are only about 25 quid each at TPS, by the way. Now, I keep all of my doggy paraphernalia in there. So it's biscuits, poo bags, dog lead, all that kind of thing. That's my original Molly panel seat back with loads of stuff hung from it. I thought that this would all clatter around and annoy me, but it doesn't. And then this little fella is the BUSBOXX version. It's a little bit more money, but it comes with these big pockets. Now I keep a coat in there, and then I keep loads of cables in there because I have many, many cables. I kind of wish that there was a hybrid between those two. That needs a few Molly straps so you can do a bit of that action to that. But that's just me, that's just my thoughts. But look how cool that looks now. That looks so factory, so clean. I know that's messy, don't get me wrong, but I mean the actual look of that. They do a deeper version. I just need to know if I have enough space there for it to go in, but this is looking so good. Take you inside now. This, it's not much of a cupboard, but every space is valuable. That's where my little fuse board is, in there. Like you've just seen, I've got some bin bags, got one of them giant toilet rolls. This van comes with a shower. So it's basically the under the sink cupboard in there. We finally have ourselves a drawer. In fear of everything rattling around and doing my head in, I've decided that I'm going to use this. It's one of those Yeti lunch boxes, I believe. It's an expensive lunch box, I can tell you. I'm going to use this for all of my cutlery and any kind of utensils. The only thing I've got in there at the moment after the weekend is my lovely new Mason bushcraft knife. If anyone knows anyone that does like leather sheaths, I want one made for that because that is absolutely gorgeous. Check this out. Absolutely blown away by that. This is going to be like my removable kitchen, so that when you're naturally cooking outside on your tire table, all right, I would pick that up, take it outside, and I've got everything rather than coming in and out. Oh, I need a knife, I need this, I need that. So I like the idea of A, that's padded so it's not going to rattle around, but also I get to pick it up and take it out. And also at the end of a camping trip, I take it all inside, I stick it in the dishwasher and fill it back up again. That's how I kind of do my thing. This hole in the unit, I've decided that bedding needs to be hidden. I'm no maid. I can't leave cushions out. They just do my head in. So, because this section of the van here is pretty much unreachable from side on. That was a side on panel. To get to it, if I was inside, I would have to rack this all the way forward, walk around to the tailgate and get into the back of it. That seemed a little bit of a nuisance to me. So I am short of doing the worktop. That's over at the Ape House. We'll be doing that next week. but I'm basically having a lift off panel here, and that is what I'm calling a bin. The wheel arch is also in there. So if I was trying to build shelves or cupboards, it would be infringed by that also. Check this out. That bin section there, I have got a dog rug kind of blanket, a double sleeping bag. So how many clowns can you get in a mini? A single voided sleeping bag. Also, it means I don't have to fart around with putting these things back in the bag anymore. I just get to dump them in the hole. 1 pillow, 2 pillow, 3 pillows, and I could probably get even more in there. So that for me, just in the morning, reaching in, dumping them in there, not farting around. I bought a camper van so that I don't have to put like tents back in a bag and stuff like that. I hate the pack down of doing things. So check that out. All of those items gone. And when I got a lid, I put the lid back on. Awesome, I like that. Bringing it around the rear. Here we have a little bit of storage at the back. In there is my water pump. It is not plumbed in as of yet. That was today's job, but I decided to make this video because the sun was out, if I'm truthful. But we've got a bit more storage here at the rear. So in there, whether or not you want recovery ropes or just camping gear, tent pegs, whatever, making use of that space. And once again, to reiterate before, that there is the panel of the bin. Even as far as that seat is now forward, if that had a drawer front on it, I would not be able to open it. I've also finally chosen a mattress topper, which is in fact a full mattress. I will show that in the next camping video when that's all set up. And another major upgrade that I never showed you guys because I was just getting too wound up while I was filming it, if I'm truthful. I've tweeded everything. It looks absolutely awesome. I wouldn't wish the job upon my worst enemy, but it can be done. Does it stretch? No, not even a little bit. Can you get it to work? Yes, you can. I did have the van shades upholstered professionally. So they have a stitch trim around them. Doing flat surface, nothing's flat, I appreciate that, but doing major surfaces is okay. But the money shot is in those van shades. They have to be correct. Now, you're probably wondering what these are. I've got to change the screws on them. I just wanted to check the length. On a rear van shade, when they're carpeted, the fixing on the rear of them in this location, you usually cut a little panel, you peel it back, you put a self-tapping screw in, and then you stick it back. Couldn't do that with this. So what I've done is I've hidden the fact that I've screwed through the van shade and into the van with one of these. That's one of those little clips that I use for my tables. So you could use that to hang a light, hang an iPad, do whatever. It's doing something at the same time as holding that van shade to the wall. Just have to change the screws for black ones. I am willing to give you one tip when it comes to the tweed, is you can do it in sections, fold it over on itself, stick it to itself, and then use that as a join. And it's okay. That's about 95% amazing. 5% of me says that if you folded that over and stitched it, it would be a little bit better. But believe me, when you stand back here, it looks mint. While these pods were at the upholsterers, I made an adjustment to this one here. So this one has this extra dog leg on it, as opposed to being full oval like that. You see it? And there's good reason for that. When I shut the blind, it inevitably goes down and hits this kitchen unit, this little tab. You can't push this blind because that sticks out past the kitchen unit. So instead of having two little squares there, little pee-pee vents, I decided to fill them. So the van is totally blacked out and totally private. And unless I point that out, you kind of don't know it's there. So these van shades now are totally adjusted, totally customized, totally seamless, only achievable, obviously, if you're willing to recover these. You could recover them in the carpet that they come in. But yeah, proper chuff for that. So when I have all of the shades down and the windscreen cover, it is like the black hole in here. It is absolutely fantastic. I love it. This van, 5% to go. What have I got to do? Once upon a time, this unit here to my right was about 100 mil lower, and I had a bit of a plan. What I wanted to do was make that unit at such a height, put cushions all along it, so that when you made the bed of this seat bed that I'm on, the whole width of the van became the bed. Then I slept on this bed, and it was super, super hard. And I also learned that I liked using this as overflow, worktop, storage, that kind of thing. So my layout took a bit of a turn and I had to redo this unit, which hurt because I had to buy another sheet, which hurt. Now that this unit is 100 mil higher, the idea is that when you make this bed, this unit is the same height, because this seat bed needs a topper. It needs an extra mattress, it needs a topper. It's like sleeping on a piece of ply, so why not have that as a flat, hard surface right the way through? And that gives you then two options. I've chosen a mattress which is just the width of this seat bed, because my missus has told me under no circumstances will she come camping in this van with me. She hates it. She hates the small van, she loves the big van, and that is the next van on the agenda. I digress. So, as I use it now, I can use this bed, which is a 112, with a full mattress. It's only going to be me and the dog. It's absolutely more than enough. But if the next user, or if my missus did change her mind, you could buy a full width mattress topper, and have a full width bed. But all the while the bed's not made, you have all of that extra worktop. I think it's absolute genius. You do sacrifice a couple of units here high level. Honestly, best thing, and when I get my new van, spoiler alert, I will be doing this again. So basically got the water system to go in here, finish this worktop. Ooh, one of the little jobs that I never got round to doing was wiring up the second reverse light, because that involved taking a wire from that side through here, up here. It wasn't even that much of a job, but it didn't need to be done. I always had better things to do, but I've done that now. So now when I engage reverse, you can actually see. And on a similar note, I've finally wired up the light bar to the vehicle. It was always on a switch under the bonnet. I thought I wanted it to be on amber DRL, but the amber was just too bright. People were flashing at me and I was blinding people. I was lighting up the reflective signs from like a mile away. I could see the orange coming. So that's now just on the main beam. If you have these light bars just on a switch up here, for example, if someone was to annoy you and you wanted to make your presence known, flashing them and reaching for that, that's too much. You're never going to make use of it. Yes, you go to somewhere really dull and you can press the button and you can light up the whole sky, but I love the idea that just simply by holding it for a split second longer could, in fact, light up someone's life. I've probably got 5% left of the last 10%. This video was inspired by the meet that I went to at the weekend. 150 vehicles there, and most people, when you open a door or you look in their van, they say, I just gotta, I'm just gonna, and I do the same. Please don't judge me on what it's like now, because I'm just gonna. Go out there, Saturday morning, couple of hours, do that little job that has been nagging at you for ages, or the one that you just can't be bothered to do. Get what you need ordered and get it done. Everything, all the links, all the people, anything that I've mentioned is usually down below. This has been the final 10% of my van build, and we're almost there.